And we're live.
Yes, we are, Michael.
That's New
How are
York
you?
Vinnie. New York Vinnie, of course, is in Seattle like you do. I'm California Mikey, and I'm in California like you do. Good to see you, Vin. We
Good to
have
see
sound
you too.
today.
Yes, we have sound today. That's a good thing. We were operating half the show without sound on Monday, and we got cards and letters from people saying that that's a good way for us to sound. That's a good thing that happened.
Compared to all the other shows, they like that one best.
Yeah, they thought that that was the second half of that show is some of our best work. So we appreciate that. Now go crawl back into your hole. Anyway, we are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10:10 or thereabouts. We're really kind of it's kind of become a tradition with this show to say that we start at 10:10, not really start at 10:10. I
We're
mean,
not even we're not even interested in beginning at 10:10. You think if we
well,
think if we tried every day that we could do it, but we don't, and that must say that we don't care.
I
But don't
think we
take that don't take it negatively. We do care. We just don't care.
we care. We care about a lot of things, and I don't know. We just care. We care. We're caring
We
people, and
care.
that's what people don't
The
get
fact,
about us. That we're a couple
look
of
at us right
caring guys.
now. There's Vinny's face. Look at him. He cares. You can tell. See, he cares. So that's not that easy to see that I care, but I do. But I want you to know I do.
Yes, I
We,
care. Care immensely.
we care about all the little people that make this show possible.
Which little people are those?
There's tiny little people that can't be seen. I thought you used to think they were this big, but they're much smaller. They're that big. You can hardly see them. They make the show possible.
Are they midgets?
They are not. They are just diminutive. They're tinier than you and I.
It strangely feels, Michael. And I don't know if this is just me, but you were around then. This strangely feels like 1979, doesn't it?
It's possible. We didn't have an IDF in 1979, did we?
No, but it strangely feels like that our president and many others have found a mule to kick, have found a country to to point to as the enemy.
The funny thing about
Uh,
Iran
Not
is
Russia.
it's not Russia. It's not China. It's a little country in the Middle East compared to the others that has no army, no air force, limited missile response and offense, no defense whatsoever. They can't stop a damn bomb from landing anywhere. And at the same time, they think that they're making an atomic bomb and going nuke on us. And they were given a chance many times to negotiate, to surrender, to compromise, and they don't want to do that.
I guess much as in this country, I always question the leaders of a country that think that the smarter thing to do is to have a nuclear program as opposed to feeding their people.
Agriculture is just so damn boring, Vinny. It's the same thing. You plant, you pick, you plant, you pick, you water everything. You have the combines go by, and then bingo, you get bread somehow magically from the stuff you grow in the fields. It's predictable. It's no fun. It's ancient. Something modern like death on a stick. Now that's exciting. That's how you get an Ayatollah to pay attention to the meeting. That's how you get him to go to the meeting.
Yeah,
We're going to discuss death and destruction. You don't want to miss it.
if you bomb him out of his house, he's got to go to the meeting. Where else is he going to go? I mean, I'm thinking that he feels like bees. He's home and he's sitting around and he's looking around and saying, "Well, okay, I got to go to a meeting in a little while." And all of a sudden, the house goes up in flames, and he walks outside, gets in his limousine, and heads off to the meeting and says, "Okay, what do you guys want to talk about?" But it doesn't seem to be working like that. Evidently, the Ayatollah has several houses, several places he can keep warm and put his feet up. If that's
What he
what he's
doesn't
doing.
know is his personal staff seems to be infiltrated with Mossad. They know where he is at all times. They can take him out now or later. I don't know why, after attacking the country so openly and so thoroughly, they asked the United States if it was okay to kill the Ayatollah. Look, we got him in the house. Can we pull the trigger?
Well, I've always been one that has
Donald Trump
thought.
would have said yes. Donald Trump would have given the okay, but they didn't buy the phones. He told them everybody in the IDF's got to buy a phone, a Trump phone. We'll hook them up
Right.
tomorrow.
That's
It didn't happen. They didn't buy the phone, so there's no okay. Nope.
that Trump phone is the funniest thing I've seen all week. That already started me to hilarity because here you have a phone that's made in China. It's not made here in the United States. They buy them and they paint them and they put the Trump logo on them, and they sell them to you. The same phone that you can buy on Amazon, according to Jimmy Kimmel, for $160.
He's got a product that I didn't hear about till I saw the totals on his take for each of his concessions that he's selling. He sells a Trump guitar. Who knew
What a
that?
great
I wonder
guitar,
who.
yeah.
Where the hell did he get who makes a guitar? I mean, that's it should be a skilled job. I didn't think anybody skilled worked for Trump.
Well, I think he buys it from a guitar maker, and I can't remember who, but they buy them and they paint them with
Gold.
the American flag and stuff, and then he autographs them and they sell them for outrageous money. You can have one and take it in your house.
So if I want to destroy my guitar at the end of the set, just to honor the 58th anniversary of the Monterey Pop Festival, I could destroy a Trump guitar. In fact,
today?
It was yesterday, I think.
Yesterday? Wow.
Yesterday.
58 years. That's a while, man. I mean, you think about that. That's for many people, that's longer than their lifetime.
Has anybody had that much fun in Monterey since then? At the racetrack? Isn't that where it was?
I think so,
Is it
yeah.
the same place they had the jazz festival?
Yeah, it seemed like they were having fun.
Oh, they were having fun.
Sans a few arguments between Bob Dylan and some people.
I don't think Dylan was there. Dylan wasn't in Monterey.
He wasn't at Monterey. Where did he get into the argument with was it Joan Baez?
Newport.
Oh, Newport. Okay, thank you. I was mixing up my pop festivals.
That's when Pete Seeger was going to pull the plug on him.
Right. Thank you for clarifying that for me. I get my
kids too.
Festivals mixed up sometimes.
Turn down that damn music. But this is a music festival. Turn it down. Turn it off.
Turn it down. We don't want that crap here. We want guitars and folk people, and well, you're going to get something new, and believe me when I tell you, you're going to like it.
Guantanamera.
You'll like it. Just open your mind. Here, take this. Take this pill.
Go sit over there
and go back to New York, and
we'll see you on the Hudson.
We'll see you at Woodstock in a couple of years.
Coffee.
We'll catch up with you then. I had my coffee this morning. I don't know what's going on, but it didn't give me the kick that I was looking for this morning. I was looking for a kick, something to get me going. It didn't accelerate me.
Did you make it yourself or did you buy it?
I made it myself. Buying coffee every day is expensive.
Yeah, damn right.
It gets to be. I mean, you can't get out of a coffee shop for less than $10. But by the time you buy a coffee and a muffin and a tip somebody, I mean, you're $10 in the hole. Sometimes more if you get an egg sandwich.
But somehow, oh yeah, you've been dying for egg sandwiches now for weeks.
Yeah, well, I got an egg sandwich. They are out there. You just have to find the right place to get them, and you have to tell people, well, I got an egg sandwich last week, but I didn't get any ketchup.
You see, well, if we were on the air in Seattle, we could get a week out of the egg sandwich, finding the right one in the right place and right prepared situation,
Well, from
where you
what
can
I
get the right.
understand, I haven't gone over there to check it out, but from what I understand, the Macarena Bakery has a good egg sandwich over near Capitol Hill. So I got to go over there and check that out. But I can go, I can go to Denny's probably and just instruct them. See, the thing is when you want a specialty item like that, and I think I explained this to you the other day. You have to go in and make it. You have to say, then this is how you do it. This is how you make it. This is what happens.
Don't
This
do
is how
this. Do this. Don't do that. Do this.
exactly. Just brown up a couple of pieces of toast, or do you have a roll? Fry the egg, flip it over once lightly so it's sunny side down, and put it on a thing. Throw a couple of pieces of bacon on there, and you're good to go.
Now, my question is: do you want it to run or do you not want it to run?
Well, there's a certain amount of runniness you want in it. You don't want it dry. You want a certain amount of yolk coming down the side of the roll, so
It's
that
so
it
funny
mixes
because, as you know, it's easy to overdo it, and all of a sudden you got no run.
with the ketchup.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
See, that's the thing. You want that red and yellow drip down the side of the opening of the roll. When you cut the roll in half, you cut the egg in half, and you get that drip that goes down the side, and then you put it in a piece of foil, and you go there and you eat that thing, and you feel like Superman. You feel good.
You think they told Kaiser Wilhelm after World War One, "You're not going to be remembered for this war. It was a terrible idea. It's your fault. Everybody lost. All these people are dead because of you. But we're going to name a roll after you, and it's going to go on
Well,
for generations. You'll be known as Kaiser Roll."
do you know that that's the Kaiser roll, or was it maybe named after Henry J. Kaiser? Because he might have served them in the Kaiser Corporation's cafeteria.
And do you know what Kaiser means in German?
No,
Caesar.
I could see that.
That
He
was that
sounds
was that was Kaiser Wilhelm. He had some ideas about his own spot in history.
well. It seems that the Germans do it from time to time. Do that,
They come up with these these self-aggrandizing ideas. No, I don't want to hear your idea about me. I want to hear my idea about me.
and let's carry it out. But it seems that every once in a while
They get their way.
they get their way, and well, they don't get their way. Every once in a while they try to get their way, and like I read, the world says no. We don't want you guys to be much more powerful than anybody else because you have the strange ideas about power.
Funny
And the
thing
same
about
ideas that they have about power, or used to have some strange ideas about power, are the same similar ideas that the Iranians have about power, that there should be one religion, one race, one way to go, and that's it. No choice. You don't deserve a choice. And as long as you have that,
well, there's some choice.
well,
You have to pray 5 times a day. That's your choice. Yeah, but I was just getting interested in my egg sandwich when it was time to put everything aside and pray.
the only time I ever prayed 5 times a day is when I was in high school.
You were praying to get out or just to
Praying to get
graduate.
out, the classes, forget what going into classes. I had a dream. I forget how long ago, but it's not too long ago that I was back in school, and that I had to go back and I don't know
That
finish some classes,
that classroom feeling.
and that was a strange dream. That was an interesting dream to go back and sit in the
Wh-
classroom. It was a
How old do you
very
think you were?
I was my age now.
You were the
By the way,
oldest kid in the class.
I keep looking over to the TV because there's news breaking that someone broke into those people that were the state representative and her husband that was shot and killed
Yeah.
over the last week. I guess somebody broke into their home after
Great.
they were killed.
So it didn't happen today. That they're finding out about this post death.
Yeah, well, I guess that somebody had the family had gone over there to select clothes for their funeral, and probably that's how they found out. I mean, I guess they took it upon themselves that no, but that people
So
wouldn't be that creepy.
these thieves said this is easier work than waiting till Sunday when the football players are all at work. We can rob their homes, or we could just go over to the people who were just killed. There's nobody home. We can take their stuff. We can take their candelabras.
What a disgusting place we've group of people we've allowed to exist in this country.
And
It really
you wouldn't have picked the Twin Cities for a place like that, would you?
no, I don't think I would have. I don't think I would. I would have. I kind of thought that the Twin Cities was one of the last decent. I mean, if you told me that that happened in L.A. or you told me that happened in California or San Francisco or New York or Chicago, I'd believe you flat out. It sounds, par for the course. But when you see it in the Twin Cities, that's when it really upsets you. It's when it gives you no hope because you think places like that are going to be the bastions of renewal for this country. You think that those places are going to be the places that people are still decent to each other.
Like they would be in
But
Salt Lake City if you live next door to the state senator or the not the state senator, the national senator, the
oh, you mean Mike Lee? Yeah.
Mike
Well,
Lee. Wouldn't you love to live next door to him? We're
you
gonna mow the
expect
lawn, Mr. Lee. Is there anything we can do for you? Yeah, get the hell out of my yard.
you expect more from Mike Lee. Well, again, these people that they talk about respect and they talk about God and they talk about this and that, and they don't have respect. I mean, what he did this weekend was terrible. I'm sorry. What he did was terrible.
His
And whether you
apology
think
was even worse.
what in the world ever happened to if you got nothing good to say, don't say it. And listen, I'm sitting here saying it now, thinking about some of the stuff that I've said on the air. And listen, I've apologized for things I've said on the air. I mean, I realized it when I was younger. But
It's the
boy,
best way to go.
when you get to a certain point, and we were doing a job where we were paid to satire people, and but I always hoped that I had some kind of class and some kind of dignity in doing it. And I didn't. I mean, I don't equate calling John Elway horseface to making fun of people who just been killed. I think as a public figure, you take on that um, that thing where people can make fun of you, whether you like it or not. It happens. Uh,
The
you want
criticism
to
and
try,
critiques and
yeah, you
sideshow
want,
that befits you if you're a public character.
yeah, you want me to try to tell you how many times I was called fat or this or that, the fat little this or the fat little that, or the guy with the New York accent. Yeah, I mean, and not lovingly. I mean, in an attempt to, but it's part of the course. If you want to be a public figure, if you want to get paid for saying things publicly, you got to expect to get it back. Doesn't hurt any less, but you got to expect to get it back. It's what happens. But break into somebody's house after they've been killed to for a person who's elected as a representative of the people of that state to make fun of it, to treat it lightly, especially when it's when it could easily happen to you as anybody else.
Yeah, you could have been on that list.
I'm sure there's somebody in Utah that doesn't like Mike Lee.
It's got to be.
And then it's probably, and at some point, is he somebody that's going to feel the wrath of somebody who doesn't like him?
I would
And I
work
think,
on my security if I were him, if I were
well,
he.
I think they are all working on their security today. I mean, if I'm an elected official today, from the ground up, I'm working on my security. I'm working on people. I'm working on protecting my family. I'm working on protecting myself.
Marjorie Taylor Greene has professional wrestlers at four corners of her entourage.
Yeah, because again, I
Gorgeous
mean,
Bill, gorgeous Philip, gorgeous George.
she has a right to say anything she wants to, whether it's idiotic or not. But I just think that it's time we expect more out of our elected officials than what we've seen.
You
Now to
mean
give
you expect him to know the martial law? Another guy named Marshall who is a lawman.
well, I guess I just want to see. I would have loved to have seen somebody on the other side stand up and say, "Well, this is a tragic thing," and I'm sure there are people that did. That this is a tragic thing that happened in Minnesota, and we got to stop this. We got to come together. We can't go around shooting people because they uh, do something in politics that you don't like.
Instead, their apology is, "We're really sorry that you're upset by someone being killed in Minnesota today. Well, what are you going to do? But we're sorry that you're upset about it."
Well, I don't even think they go that far. It's unfortunate that it happens, is what you hear. Uh, you know, uh, People are supposed to be leading us. People are supposed to be um, trying to reconcile people in this country, trying to get them to not be as mean to each other.
But that's not
But
what the big guy. That's not what the big guy wants, man. You know that.
well, that's the truth. That's the truth right there. Is that the big guy doesn't want that? He doesn't want people being kind to each other. He doesn't want people. He excuse me. He wants to. I don't know what he wants to do. I
He
mean,
wants he wants to say, "Vinny bought my phone. I love Vinny. I've always loved him. He bought my phone."
he sent me $500 for a $100 phone. He's a good guy. He helped my grift.
I want to keep my phone number. I can't help you there. We can't help you with that. We're not a phone company. We're a phone company.
It's it's hilarious. But and the sad thing is people will go and buy that have not enough money to buy a phone for that much. But they'll want to be the first in their group to have a Trump phone.
Call me on my
And
Trump phone.
he knows he's got him by the Goyons. And they're gonna
That
do
sounds
it.
delicate. That sounds delicate. I don't like the Goyons.
It's a delicate place. You don't want to be gotten by the Goyons. You
I can
don't
tell you
want to
that I agree with you. I do not.
you don't want to be grabbed there. By the way, Kevin on the streets is listening to us this morning, and Kevin says we need New York Vinnie to take out the Ayatollah. I don't know. I'm out of the business of taking people out.
If you just take him down the road, get an egg cream.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take him out and talk to him. I'll take him out for a good Italian meal if there's any good. There's got to be a good Italian restaurant somewhere in Tehran. I take them out and tell them to stop the bullshit. That you got a country here that you have a tradition of having some of the smartest people in the world, um, ever in the world, and you're you're hurting them, you're hurting yourself, you're hurting everybody. Try to live in peace with everybody. The whole
Tehran
world
was
is
always
going to turn radical Muslim. It's not going to happen.
Tehran was always pictured as being a modern city in a lot of ways. People
Yeah,
were inclined toward modernity. They were a progressive group, but they were also under the thumb of the Ayatollah and the religious government. The government that was religious first and seeing to the needs of its people secondly. It was far more interested in seeing to the needs of Hezbollah than it was the needs of its people.
right. I mean that's it. When you want to, when you have such hatred in your heart to destroy another group of human beings, this is what happens. You don't
And
spend money on your own people. You don't spend the money to feed your people. You don't spend the money to do good things. You spend the money on nuclear power, nuclear attack, nuclear warheads, and you spend the money um, on
closing
things
the
that'll
Straits
hurt.
of Hormuz.
You spend money on telling people that they can't think freely or they can't be freely. But what you find out in the long run, I think, is that people do think freely, no matter what. You can suppress that thinking and you can make it harder to find, but people have this thing inside of them that many of them just want to be free.
They want to listen to God Only Knows by the Beach Boys.
Good song to listen to. That and have you listened to much of the Brian Wilson stuff since his passing?
Lots of it.
Yeah, what a prolific, what an unbelievably prolific man. I mean, when you
It's,
just
it's like those first 17 records, the first 17 releases were crazy.
yeah, and even the stuff after that. I mean, maybe it did. Music kind of turned a different direction, but Brian's songwriting, some of the songs in that period where the young people don't like it. Well, the young people don't think it's great stuff. Well, many of the young people, I wouldn't say all of them. I know some young people that actually think it's great stuff that have been sad over his passing. But I think that there's a group of us that grew up with that music that listen to what he's writing, and he talks to us, and he talks
In
to us
a
about
innocent way.
and he talks to us about what life is like now. Life has always been different for Brian Wilson.
Life has not always been enjoyable.
Right. I saw a great tape on YouTube, great video on YouTube of I guess this is the period where he's up in his bed. He's got the sand all over the place and everything.
Right.
And John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd dress as California Highway Patrolmen.
Oh yeah, and they say let's go surfing now. Everybody's
And they
learning
go,
how.
let's go surfing now. And they do a tape of it. And they grab him, they pull him out of bed, and they take him surfing
In his bathrobe.
in his bathrobe. They get him out of the house.
Well,
I think what he needed. Right? He needed to get out of the house more.
remember, for every Brian Wilson, there's a Mike Love. So there you go. That's how the universe balances its give and its take. It gives you Brian Wilson, and then you have to live with the fact that it also gives you Mike Love. Take that.
But then again, for every Mike Love, there's an Al Jardine.
They didn't get along. Of course, he didn't get along with Dennis either.
Yeah, that they all sounded like that was they just all didn't. Well, they all had different ideas about what they were supposed to be doing.
And
And
who was
some
in
of them had
charge of
ideas
doing
that
it?
they should have taken the money and be doing nothing. It was their time, and their time had come and gone. And meanwhile, but there was other people that were on the road saying, "Wait a minute, we got a thing here. We got something here that we can make. We can make our lives work."
We're going to make a fortune just by playing county fairs.
Yeah, we're gonna go out. We're gonna tour, and I mean, we have enough money to go first class, so it's not like you're riding a bus from here to there.
No,
So we're gonna go, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna make money. We're gonna have enough money for our grandkids, 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 grandkids. If they play it right, to still have money.
and
It'll
so it
last long
was.
after we're gone.
Yeah.
People will point at that little girl in school and say, "She's love money. That's Beach Boy money. Well, that's Brian Wilson money." And I don't know how many kids Carney has, but sorry, I'm very sleepy today. I don't know
It's
why.
a big extended family, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of people get their hands in the trough. So who knows what everybody's split will be, and that's probably why you got to go out and make more, right?
You got to wet your beak.
Without a doubt. Speaking about wetting the beak, how did your Giants fare over my? I mean, I know that I saw the part of the press conference where they welcomed Devers yesterday.
He did a good job. He did his job. The rest of the Giants did not do theirs. They lost 3-2 to Cleveland. Devers got 2 hits, a double and a single.
Nice way to open his Giant career, right?
He went up there and he got a hit.
Now, is he going to stay with the Giants, or what's the?
They picked up his entire contract, $255 million.
Bless you. So this is basically a free agent signing without it being a free agent signing.
It was a trade with 4 for 1.
Right. The Red Sox said, "We made a mistake here. Let's see if we can find somebody to help us fix it." And they found somebody to
They
help
just signed him to it. They made a mistake, but they just did it. I mean, they signed him to a 10-year deal.
Yeah, but they found out, I guess.
And then for some reason, they couldn't agree on what position he should play. That seems weird.
I think it's weird, too. I think it's interesting that the Giants and Buster Posey would take a flyer on a guy like that, take a flyer for that much money. But
well, they needed a lefty and they needed a slugger. There wasn't a lot of them around.
He filled a big need for them.
Right.
And if I were, I am a Mets fan and a Mariners fan. And if I saw that the Mariners picked him up for that kind of money, or the Mets had picked him up for that kind of money, with the Mets being more than likely, I don't think I'd have had a problem with it.
No way. Plus, he came to town and got his. Came to town and went to work.
Yeah. That's what they're gonna need. That's what the Giants need, a bat. Although, now I don't follow them as closely as you, but there seems to be a hole in their bullpen somewhere too.
Well, they got their closers set. They got 2 closers that they can call on, and they just traded 2 pitchers from their prospect list that were on the team, on the roster, pitching every day, pitching every week as the relievers, and one of them had just been promoted to be a starter. So a couple of guys are coming off the injured list. We're gonna have the heads we need, and pitching was not our problem. Run production was.
Well, I wish them a lot of luck. Excuse me. I wish them a lot of luck. I hope that I would love to see. I'd love to see the Mets back in a World Series. It's been 10 years, so I'd like to see that. But a Giants-Mariners World Series wouldn't be so bad. A Mets-Mariners World Series would drive me out of my mind. I think I'd just have to go into. I'd have to go back to the Oregon coast, down to Rockaway Beach, and get a room there and just lock myself in it with a bunch of Tonto pups.
You enjoyed the coast for the weekend?
I think it was gorgeous, man. I hadn't been there in a long, long time, and the Oregon coast is just it's spectacular. Wherever you go, have you ever been to the Oregon dunes? That just
Uh,
looks it's phenomenal. We're gonna have all of these sand dunes right there, these beaches with hills, and see all four wheel driving and everything. It was so much fun to just watch. I mean, I wasn't gonna four wheel drive this time, but I might go back down there and do that. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks a little dangerous coming over them dune hills, but if you proceed safely, it looks like it could be a lot of fun. And
what did you think of the people? What did you think of the locals,
pretty good.
beach
Uh,
people?
a little whacked out in some places. It's a little. It's definitely got a hippie vibe to it.
Did you see any signs that were clever?
Yes. So we stayed in this place that was in Net Tarts, which is near Tillamook, with big cheese and ice cream factory is,
Oh yeah.
which we toured, which was really nice. Got a, I got so much free cheese that there's still some in my refrigerator. But they had this one street across the street from this Airbnb that I had, and so there's a street sign, and then there's a tsunami evacuation sign pointing up the
Oh yeah.
street, popular there. And
Don't
then
go
there
through the
is
water. Go away from the water.
right, and then there's a third sign pointing up the same street. This is dead end. And I said, well, now why would you possibly want to send the tsunami people up a dead end? I would think that they would want to keep going down that highway and get away from the tsunami.
That's one way to go, but there's the other way too.
But you can go up the dead end, I guess, and get caught in it. Boy, I hope nothing happens there at the Oregon coast, man. I hope that that the environment and everything, um, the global stuff that's going on, doesn't engulf that place. Of course, it's pretty, it's beautiful. I imagine it'll still be beautiful if something serious happens. But boy, what a vibe, man! You just feel better when you're driving up that thing. I could have gone. I could have turned around and drove right back down it, and just stopped in places and looked at the beauty. I mean, the beauty is breathtaking. It's like nowhere else. It's such the beauty is on the East Coast. When you get up to Maine, is a very rugged beauty. It's a very sharp beauty. It's got a lot of sharp angles to it. There's a lot of rocks, a lot of uh, jagged rocks, a lot of sharp stuff. You know,
Good description. A lot of sharp stuff in Maine.
yeah. When you go up the coast on the West Coast, the rocks seem softer. The coast seems softer. There's these really beautiful sandy beaches. Um, there was one place where we stopped, and there was a labyrinth that these people built every day. Not every day, but every couple of weeks they come out and they build this labyrinth in the sand, and people walk through it, and they meditate and they pray and they do their thing, and then the sea comes and washes it away. And then they come back in a few weeks and build it again and walk through it again. And it was so indicative to me, of the process of what we go through here. We build, we wish, we dream, and something washes it away, and we come back in a week and build and dream and wish again.
Get used to that in radio, Vinny, when you throw away everything you had the day before. Show's over, throw it away.
Throw it away. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very good analogy. I mean, You put that one in the books. I used to work with a guy who would never save his tapes. None of them. Nothing. Got the best show in the world, man. It could be an award-winning show, and he wouldn't save a tape of it. And he said to me that, well, listen, this happened yesterday. That's it. That's all. I'm on to what's in front of me, not what's behind me. I don't care. And I mean, great interviews with great people, but he didn't save them.
That's unusual.
Where I have a box with probably half the shows that we did on KJR in it.
I got a lot of that too. Mikey, Vinnie.
Mikey and Vinnie, yeah, we used to have a time doing that, Michael. We had a great time. I wish that somebody would put us on the air for a day a week, on a Saturday or a Sunday, just to do it, just to get back out there and do it. It feels unnatural sometimes, not doing it on the radio every day, not being able to go into a station and doing it from basically a studio I set up in my living room. I have to listen to Graz and Gas are back
Did you know?
with a podcast, and I'm going to have to listen to what they're doing and see what they're doing. I'm surprised that. I told you this before years ago when I got here. I'm surprised that KJR hasn't gotten a hold of us. You, me, Graz, Gas, some of the other people that are still around, and taking that second signal that they have and put us on. It's like KJR Classic.
The golden years.
The golden years, the originals, but it's crazy. I don't feel any respect or love from those people at all. There's nothing.
You have to consider that there might not be any.
No, there's still there's people at it when we were there. There's people still running around. Rich Moore was there when we were there. He runs the thing.
That's right.
But unfortunately, we don't rate, I guess, or maybe we just don't have enough to say to make them happy. Maybe what we say is gone past what they like. But we have people that like it.
Oh, yeah. That's what we say is secondary to what we do.
Yeah. So anyway. Well, listen, man, I'm gonna cut to it. I'm a little still recovered from
the coast.
From the coast, and
you saw a lot of the coast. You saw a great deal of the coast.
I saw all the coast you can see from Bandon, Oregon, to
Weed, California,
Astoria, Oregon, and then over the bridge, and across Route 4 to Kelso, Washington. It's a beautiful coast, man. It's a beautiful place. I recommend anybody go and get a car and take a week and go see it.
If you drive directly to the coast from Seattle, can you take the road south, or is it
well, you got to go over. I mean, we're 100 miles inland.
Well, I'll go to the coast. Can I go south right along the coast like Highway 1?
Well, you can go down to 101, yeah. And you can take 101 down south, catch 101 at Olympia, and follow that down to not right to the coast. You can go up the coast. 101 hits the coast, but 101 has this interesting relationship with the coast. It goes out to the coast, then it comes back from the coast.
Yeah.
Then it goes out to the coast, then it goes back to the coast. So I don't know.
That's the same theory that happens through California too. Some of it's on the coast, some of it there's no road on the coast. There's the hidden coastline.
Well, there's some road, but you have to find it. It's not a highway. There's like where were we? We were down there somewhere. I forget now, but we took this road that went out to the coast. Oh, it was near Coos Bay,
Way south.
and it took this. You had to take the 101 went inland. You had to take 101. You had to take this other road to go out to the coast. But when you got out there, it was spectacular. There were sea lions and which can be a pain in the ass after a while. The sea lions.
But they don't ask, they tell.
They don't ask. They tell, and they take.
Yes. They
So
take your picnic lunch.
yeah, it's an interesting situation for them.
Shall we see each other Friday, Vin?
Yes, let's see each other Friday, and if hopefully we'll get this have a longer show, and I'll feel a little bit better about it all. And
And the war should be over by then because Donald Trump's going to turn his hand to it. It'll all be wrapped up by then.
Pray for peace, man. Pray for peace. That's what we need, man. We need peace.
That's a good enough message for me.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you Friday if the Lord's will and the creek don't rise.
It'll be a freaky, fractious Friday.
It sure will. Take care of yourself, Michael.
See you
Peace,
then, Vinny.
love, and Manischewitz, baby.
What a wine. See
See
you
ya.
then.
Thank you all for listening as well. And we'll see you on Friday.